seeing Jay behind the jail cell, you should probably spend your thinking about something else because he's going to give them partners. I don't know why you don't see that now. That's all I'm saying.
If you're a Republican, you should hope that they don't do it. It's not the system.
I'm not going to lose sleep if they do. I don't care if they do.
You're not the only 7 people voting.
From the 35.
And then, you know, stop complaining, niggas.
Listen, no, calm your karate.
You can never beat me, brother.
Williams in motion. They motion a receiver.
Go get a full roller. Go put some on your little belly. Look bad as kid. Go get you a full roller.
Yeah, the former Buckeye, Travion Henderson.
He had a
Spend all week on your opening script. What are the plays that are going to find a rhythm?
Shut up.
This case, that first play you drawn up, sent you going back the wrong direction. How does that change this play caller's approach to the ground game going forward?
What's the medium rare hot box?
Off the play fake, it's May.
Got the medium rare hot box. It's rare.
15 yards through the air.
This team is so long. I'm doing this because I'm bored.
And this is what you can do when you have one of the best receivers in the game. You understand that even if the coverage is not perfect for the play call, sometimes it's just as simple as my guy is better than your guy, and we're going to just keep giving him a chance.
That's what we do. And he brought over right out the pack.
They'll try the left side with Henderson. Following his blockers and gains.
I see that talk, man. What I just bring to the top of this support, I see why I do that in the system. But it's usually one thing to play off the side, the next touch. You get to work in this stuff.
I'm not going to lie, I'm in a vulnerable position. I got to see how this Iran situation plays out. But let me tell you, this Iran situation did rock the foundation of my support.
And you did one that, this one. We were talking about Palmer.
It's the tight end Henry in motion.
And you see, just the other day, when you heard it say, I love him.
It's Henderson. Room to run at the 35.
Yeah, the other day you said I'm just a team. I guess when you learn something, I'm just a girl. I'm not gonna let this shit go. There's something crazy out here to me sing my life.
Sometimes all it takes is that one key block to spring this match. It's just so good in open space, and man, was a heck of a run, and it sets a chance to
You
goal.
want to take everything for women, bro? Y'all really gonna take all they will see. You might have a high flash thing. That's why I have high flash thing. You have a crown behind your belly button.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. First and goal now from just inside the 10-yard line.
Okay, so at the end of the day, man, I can't wait to see how this Iran situation plays out.
A loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot. And now, I think it really limits. What do you feel comfortable dialing up here on second and goal?
And
How many punches you caught?
Move back to the 10. They'll try here on second and goal.
7, 8, 9.
It's the tight end Henry in motion.
He want to see what's the new war. 7 days war.
You start saying stupid shit, and then it start pissing me off. You see why you think dumb shit like these people have 8 countries, as if we bomb 8 countries. Many of these countries, we work with many of these countries, and we used to do
Just to avoid the sack and it'll set up a third down.
They got there in a hurry. Luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
Yes or no? Yeah, both of us 8 countries. They would drop American Boomer out the sky.
Don't make it feel like you started wars with 8 different countries.
Oh, that's nice.
Don't make it seem like that.
With their domestic policy, power police, they drop a boom.
Touchdown number 19.
You know they're working in concert with these
That's
governments to fight big domestic terrorists. They're
And it's a
helping.
huge reason
So
why
it
they're
like
this winning streak. Their ability to jump teams early and bring it to lead. Everything is so much easier for the coach, for the offense, for the defense. Playing with the lead in the NFL is the ultimate position to be in.
That is not.
Yeah, but fighting with domestic terrorists of a nation is different than fighting another nation itself. So, I mean, by the basic definition of war, of course, because there's a combative people on the other side, but it's not war by the definition that I voted to avoid, right? I ran, the war that I avoided to avoid was a war. No, the war definition, Congress declares, Congress defines war by boots on the ground. Everything else is conflict. It can be executed under war powers. By that definition, right, we're going to war with our but other bombings were not considered war. So don't say that he bombed the 8, 9 countries like he's bombing everywhere, starting wars around the world. That's the like into the character's part. Okay, so you don't know. I don't know if you knew that.
You said now if this Iranian conflict turns into a war, I'm gonna get you up here. If it turns into a war, then what?
Well, it is a war, and I don't like it. And and I'm judging the administration because the longer, if it's longer than 2 weeks, then I get everything that I voted for still. But the longer this goes out, then the less I get what I voted for. So it's like I'm like really judging it right now.
Why are we seeing it in the
Each team one possession, each team a score.
I mean, to have cameras on the ground, you would think that these tanks and all of this stuff would have cameras, but do you think that it would be available to the public? It should be posted on YouTube.
Only about his 20-yard line. That's where the drive is.
not what I thought.
Chinese media is copy. And they don't get, they control their media as opposed to our having free. Us having free media, and is our media going to be standing in the middle of war territory like that?
We literally no longer have to this administration. But my thing is, how can you condemn or try and minimize a communist nation for controlling their media when the Trump administration is
That's conspiracy. Ultimately, these public options can put out what they want. No matter what, I
want to go see if they keep media out of the country. Let me go look. Maybe I had to. I'm not sure.
What are you talking about?
I'm about to look.
Look what up.
I'm about to see if they keep the media out of the Pentagon.
Journalists right now.
Here's made to throw it on first down. Knocked away, and it's incomplete.
This was a while ago.
It looked dope.
Not only that,
That's not the thing you got to do. I got the brother. Give me 1 second. I got to. Major mainstream media outlets, including Associated Press News, NBC News, CBS News, left the Pentagon on October 15, 2025, rather than comply with new restrictive policies introduced by the XFT mix of free approvals for the court that were rejected by many outlets as a violation of press freedom. The fuck is free of exposure? You're the press. You report what you see. You're talking about Chinese communist nations and everything. Stop doing the same shit. This administration is doing that.
Yes, you asked for underground footage. You said, why we can't get no footage now? I said, because those people can't be underground. Does that mean that...
Why not Luke Ross did?
let's say I grant you this, right? That doesn't sound like I think that sounds like, and I actually remember that. I actually remember that. Well, let's say I grant you that. Does that mean that the media can't report on what's going on in the Middle East objectively without being penalized by the administration? Of course. It can't for media.
So everything this defense talks about, Mike, is creating negative plays. It's one of the best run defenses in football. Everything is about suffocating you at the line of scrimmage, make you work for everything you get.
We don't want to this big restricted paragraph, right? Doesn't mean that this media outlet can't report on everything else as they feel like it. So they're not restricted. If I'm telling you to give his secondary defender a chance to make a play, he gets too much width, not enough depth, and a quarterback like this is going to take advantage.
Our same leadership remove free press from the penalty. That should tell you that they're not transparent with what's actually going on. You should have a problem.
An opportunity to score
So they should
was
tell
right
you,
there
hey,
for
we
the
on the loud
taking.
campaign,
Just wasn't quite
10,000.
big.
How will we know that? The free press, not enough.
The free press is going to report still as they see fit. So let's say suppose hypothetically, this could be like, but y'all learn this motherfucker,
Oh my gosh, bro.
hey man, y'all really don't get it through like these. Y'all motherfuckers turn it with the competition that y'all about.
He's got 20
on the year. But what are we going to stand on?
What an opening quarter he is
having. Trying to rationalize the loss of free press.
That's here in the first quarter.
Mike, all this guy has to do is keep
You
his
cannot
pace up.
rationalize losing free press. Either you can report the news. That's not good to expect that they fucking lock down and eliminate us. So we know that they'll come through.
Y'all remember when to fight it properly. You can't do that. And first of all, and second of all, what I'm saying is, you are not going to fight it properly.
And peaches and they might have to talk about one second.
Following to send this one away. And that one is through the back of the end zone. It is a touchback.
I was just going to just mention about the media and how they've been banning them from doing a lot of coverage on TV.
On TikTok, I think they go, Peachy wants to grab ball and so
Churches are private. That's why they arrested Donovan. You can't go into somebody's house because they're fighting and you want to report on that story. That's not how that works. You can do it from the window and report it from there. Absolutely, from public property. You cannot go into private property and vote from there. And something that you said before is here to respond to.
Press for being able to cover. They definitely are not covering what's going on over in Iran. And we even had Fox come out and admit that they quote unquote made a mistake by showing Donald Trump being at another what do you call it, the unalive military return.
So after one, the Patriots out on top.
I'm tired. I can't think.
Music City after this. Titans football here to start quarter number 2. They've got it with first and 10.
Dignified transfer. Thank you, people. They played a clip. They said they made an accident and played a clip from his first term. And then he did another dignified transfer showing that he did not have.
Why can't I jump?
Now, all the other people
It's a touchdown.
they say pass.
I score in that play all the time.
So
All right. We don't really play this team that much. Kind of bored.
Said that they made a mistake, showed
and instead they force a turnover, and now their offense is back.
It's a 3 tight end look as they have it first and 10.
Media to cover transfers.
On the ground, it's Henderson to start this drive.
So we are
21, a game of
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment, and keeps this to a modest gain at best.
From the 21, here's second and 9. Working out of the gun, it's Madden. And he's got about 5 on this one before he's out of bounds. And they're set up a little bit better for third down.
There's a lot of ways to get the ball in the hands of your running backs, and it's not always by just handing it to them. In this case, it's a simple check down, picks up a good gain, brings up third down.
They'll come up to third and 3.
They've been doing it for a while, and they're trying to do the course like they do everything else.
Throwing is Madden. Forced to his right.
I'm so good. I'm so good. Madden never helped. I'm just that good.
The ability to play off script and use your legs to extend the play. I think in this case,
Literally
he
that.
either needs to tuck that ball down and become a runner, or he just simply needs to throw that ball away.
Pretty quickly, he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's second and 11.
21.
From the gun, here's Ward.
He was with this team.
Good work to body and set up a third down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, but we just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And you're one of the go-to guys on your team. I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels like you take a hit after a catch, and it does after a drop.
They get 15 on that game. First down for Tennessee.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle it. But they weren't able to do it before he gets the line to gain, and he ends up picking up the first down.
This one caught on 4. That's a nice pickup on first down for him. It's a gain of 8.
Brings up second and the Patriots 2-yard line.
Yeah, those wasn't a failure.
Literally a failure. They lied and said they were going to save us for $2 trillion. They didn't say anything.
No, they never said that. Elon said that. That wasn't a campaign promise from the president.
Hold it ready.
Levito.
What?
Watch your ass, bro. I was quick in there.
Ready? They'll try to run this one in. Doesn't get a hold of it. It is first and goal coming up.
Well, here's where you really see the value of having a good run game. Third and short, fourth and short, the ability to just keep it simple, win up front, turn around, hand the ball to your back, and say, okay, more likely than not, we're going to get a fresh set of downs, maintain possession, and now continue to find opportunities to generate points. Now, this play, Mike, is clearly out the job of this defensive line. Great job holding their ground, forcing these blockers to be stood up. Nowhere to go for this running back, and they hold them to no gain.
Four qualified black women officers take down waste products. And they had to shut the whole goddamn department down. Y'all some good these conservative folks playing y'all face.
Oh my God. Why is everybody computer so gifted now? Thank you. Please. I'm tired of that.
Why the hell they just smoke this?
Make these dudes make a play, man.
Make no mistake about it, he may get the glory, but that does not happen without unbelievable blocking up front. So let's give the big guys all the credit in the world. He's able to displace the defense right there at the point of attack, and that's about as easy a goal line touchdown as you're going to see all year.
Why didn't they step first? They didn't catch it because they weren't there to catch it. They were there to free Elon Musk and future prosecution and figure out a way to fire black and they were violent.
Joey slide to kick off
Outside that no
We are all square, 14 apiece the score as this one's away. This one is going to sail through the end zone. Fourth touchdown.
They'll
begin it on the ground with Henderson. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's second down.
and information that even if the press, there's a certain question they can't even ask. There's a certain way they have to ask questions, or they can be deemed, or their access can be pulled based on how somebody is feeling. And you know how Trump says to these people, all they have to do is say that, and they can say that they violated disagreement, and their access is gone. So some of these people are literally, in order to at least stay in the home, they're just not saying anything. So when you see people at these press conferences, when it seems to be submissive,
Let's get this motion around. I know eventually
they
want to
should
call
let
it.
it stay in the room. Because if they get their access, then the only people that in there are alone. Even though it feels like that already. I don't know.
No, facts. And you might have to request back up. If you all drop you for a second till you get it together, you crashing out. And UA served in the military, so I'm sure you want to get in this part of the conversation. I'll let you back up in a second. UA, you might have to drop it, come back up. My thing is this, Mike, in response to what brother said. Bro, when we are dealing with issues in America, y'all have to stop doing this shit where y'all start to
Oh my gosh, I did everything but have a fast linebacker.
we have just as much control over our media as the damn citizens in China have over their media. We don't control any of these stories that's being ran on mainstream media here in America. The little freedom we did have on social media, they find up the social media platform so they can suppress that shit. You can't speak about the J-folk on TikTok like they used to. They shutting your shit right down, flagging, getting you out of there. But then you'll sit up here as a Republican voter talking about free press. There is no free press in America right now, bro. They watching and listening to all of this shit. You say the wrong thing, they're going to penalize you. The same way they would do in China. I don't know, bro. We got to get away from this American democracy. We're so free. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Y'all can sit under this illusion that y'all free. I'm fucking free. You can't do whatever you want to do in America. You think you can do whatever you want to do in America. Say the wrong thing about the wrong person or try to invent the wrong thing and watch how fast your ass go miss it. And they'll never find you. That's freedom for you. Y'all confused and delusional, man. I've never seen poor and average people extend this sort of power and be excited about it. Y'all are fucking excited that y'all in power. They just stealing money. They just doing shit right out in the open. They don't even care. Christian, no. Creative, incorporated company. 6 days later, you're going to send them $150 million to that bank account for a newly formed corporation. Conservative people will go, oh my God, look at that and say, shit, is that wrong? You go try to use for shit like that and see if we don't do nothing.
So we can't even move 10,000.
That.
And that is the
It's actually sick. What's going on, man? Is this the worst administration?
Nothing they've done to slow him down has worked, Mike.
It's not. It's actually my favorite administration of all time.
You like uneducated, unqualified leadership.
President Trump is very educated. He's very qualified. And he's a great leader. I have no issues with
I
that.
look at that shit like a cat. Even though what you said about the president, crazy as hell, he's not very into
I believe Rubio's done a great job. I believe Vice President Vance is great. Christina has been, let go and everything. She was she was kind of, here and there, but she's been replaced with someone that's actually capable and going to give what's need to be done so this country can continue to move forward.
And Trump probably right now actually ready for horses. He moved.
I've actually met President Trump numerous times.
That's not what I asked you. If he called you right now and wanted to take you out to the bar, have you ready the horses, would you ready? Would you get him ready?
President Trump wouldn't do that.
I'm asking you. Do you love the man that you were ready to horse?
I'm telling you that President Trump is a great guy.
That's fine. I'm telling you that horses.
Well, you know what, Consul, last time I spoke with you and everything, we had this disagreements, this, that, and the other. And
you a house people.
I mean, I proved my point on your live so well that the letter is from the camera. So, I mean, the younger moderator is saying that I don't think I'm saying I live in a mansion, by the way. But what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying, Casso, is you and I covered it.
We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way.
Go again.
Hey, man.
The 6 he will only be able to
He's found eternal life. Nigga, if you want to pray, have you found eternal life?
Yes, you find
Where can I get it? Nigga?
You find.
That's the only thing gonna impress me. Nigga, eternal fucking life. Nigga, where the fountain? Where the fountain side go? Give me that glass.
Christ. Now you find eternal life through Christ, so that's
right. That's right. Praise Jesus.
Bro,
you find it through Christ.
Because what he's saying, I don't care about your mention. We're talking about this administration. These people are wildly unqualified. And the way that you motherfucking black Republicans still tap things, this shit need a case. White folk can't do no wrong.
I mean, that's another thing about me and you. I look at it from the standpoint. I look at it from the standpoint. No, I see culture. Culture is more important than color.
It takes a certain guy in that same position to be willing
culture,
to be able to You can tell this guy.
I love everybody.
He is fearless going across the middle. He's able to secure a nice catch.
Nope, but I will tell you that.
So you going out to a motherfucking way?
I was hoping you tried.
Get more comfortable about their position in the conversation. And you think that's normal, right?
Concept, I don't see color, I see culture. You look at that.
But you're not colorblind. How's that possible? You're not colorblind.
You judge people off their color. I don't.
And make them defend the entire field.
You make broad statements off color. I don't. I know some great people that are black.
Give me something great.
I know some great people that are white. It doesn't matter. It's culture, not color.
Give me something great that this administration has accomplished thus far.
Yes, they continue to deport all the illegals. I find it here that will continue to help black people, the one that are lowest amongst us, to get better jobs.
People are stupid.
Throw the ball downfield.
Black people on the rate. Black unemployment rate up or down. Mass deportation.
Well, you're going to bring up that whole thing about a bunch of
black women. Asking you a simple question. I'm asking you, since Trump has started this mass deportation campaign, has our unemployment rate been up or down?
It will go up. Now, what you want to talk about
I've seen that play so many times.
That's to be clear. This conversation said the black unemployment rate has gone up since this administration took office.
And you're basing it off of the black women that lost their jobs, looking for the black unemployment.
Basing it off the fact that black unemployment rate has went up. So now I'm trying to figure something out. You said you love what they're doing with deportation because it's going to benefit our community in terms.
Yes, it is.
Right, in terms of job opportunities. When should we expect to see that?
Our real community, not this little fake black community.
That's fine. That's fine. When should we expect to see black unemployment be on the uptick due to immigration policies, anti-immigration policies?
Third quarter of this year, you'll see it.
So, and what setting do you expect to see black job, bro?
It's going to be in the manufacturing sector.
Hey, look, so not only are the companies that Trump has been lying about saying that he's made.
I had to kiss my motherfucking brother.
Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, like picking up fresh sets of downs.
Manufacturing immigration, illegal being fired.
But now they find themselves in second.
Can you give me the number specific? The manufacturing job openings that you now look at for 4C. Can you tell me exactly where you got those numbers from? Because you would have to understand.
We are building more manufacturing jobs here in our great country, and therefore it's going to benefit.
So why the fuck would we have to get undocumented people out if we're building new facilities and more jobs?
Those same facilities, salaries that have been hiring illegal immigrants for years and years and years, and now that they are no longer incentivized due to great president to be hiring those individuals, they'll be let them go, they'll get deported, and then real Americans such as yourself and I right those jobs.
Even if they were great manufacturing,
you know, they don't prioritize white over that things. Furthermore, where are they going to put these Where are they going to put these manufacturing facilities? Are they going to be out in small town rural white America?
Are they going to be in downtown Detroit? They're going to be in Atlanta? Where are the manufacturing facilities going to be? That's going to determine what type of equipment you want.
Again, it's not about promotion.
Right, not promotion. Hey man, Detroit's not a color, Atlanta not a color, small town rural America not a color. Where are the manufacturing facilities going to be?
They're going to be in small rural areas that also
small rural America
that also have blacks and whites.
Usually out in small rural America. Who reside out there?
Blacks and whites.
Again, the majority of the black population in America live within the city limits, in the big cities. So if they are putting manufacturing facilities to the rural town, that means the majority of those employees are going to be white employees. That's not true. Yes, it is. And even if they do hire black folks, it won't be a lot. It won't be me. It won't be enough to change our unemployment rate. I guarantee that.
So there are plenty of rural areas here in the great state of Georgia that has plenty of black people there.
We're talking about employment, sir.
I know. And those blacks will be employed.
You said rural areas. Prisons built. Where prisons located? Most of the prisons in the United States.
Prisons are built in rural areas where there's cheap land.
Why is he so inaccurate?
White job program. The majority of those prisons are filled.
Like, why is he so inaccurate?
White men who are CEOs and white women who are administrators. Secretaries that are why I know because I got a job of mine. When I drive an hour from the city to the rural area to go to work.
Okay, and what are you getting at?
I'm getting at the fact that you're saying that new manufacturers are not really actually buying up more old manufacturers, old factories, turning them into intensive sectors, which will become another realm of hiring white people with their opponent. We're going up and down the field, and after this long touchdown, so basically, okay, manufacturing job.
What you're saying is that us poor blacks, we just can't figure it out. We got all this
No, sir, never said that. When I'm saying it's a job program that's for white people, just like the police department.
Now return from the 7.
Yes, but I'm not.
And this up is the 20, and that's where they'll set up shop.
Well, I want you to speak to the time. I gotta say shit about black people for the economy. We're not going. He brought it up. You want to get your rocks off and then go to another line. I'm not gonna do that shit.
He brought it on his own day.
Yeah, that's fine. He brought him to prison, so he said shit about black folks.
Yes, he did. He said that the white people do that.
Yeah, we're not gonna go there. Now with all the white crime going on outside. Now with one day the motherfucking fire,
That's a crazy pancake block.
As he takes this past the 40-yard
let's
line.
move on. Go ahead,
That's a gain of 21 to open this drive.
Well, that's how you get a drive started. A big play here in the run game, and you have to imagine this is something we're going to continue to see. Success early in the drive typically results in success later in the drive.
They say 1865 to 1900. Year 1865 to 1900. What was the culture of white people? How did they treat black people?
You still got that,
The culture, not the color, just the culture. How did they treat it? Bring it back. Are you talking about the antebellum South? Or are you talking about the North? Which one? 1865 to 1900. How did white people treat black people culturally in America? That is it. We have to come down here to speak. Yeah. I'm not the you don't think that. Well, you see, listen, Bertie, it depends on which part of the South, which part of America. I don't know. Okay. Settle down in the South. So down in the South, things look pretty bad. Up north, though, depending on which.
You a hitch route merchant, ain't you?
You gonna like take you again?
I want to say the worst race riots in American history. Worst race riots in American history took place in New York, Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis, all these other places. Now that you know the worst racial riots in American history took place in New York.
First down, New England.
We can have an honest conversation.
As I stated before, depending on which state, because unlike everybody else, I just don't make blanket statements about X, Y, and Z. I'm actually pretty smart enough to do that. You know, a black man's gonna be treated different.
Alabama.
I'm not from Alabama.
Alabama.
I'm not from Alabama.
Listen, bro, stop fucking.
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Stop playing. You just said you gotta make some mistake. I said Alabama, nigga.
Anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand, get it to the hands of receivers, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball, modest gain.
Anyone who listens to you,
listen, man, you're gonna answer the question and you're gonna leave my life. You can go get you go on your body down. In your bench, wall, nigga.
that's the best you got.
Are you ready to have a conversation, boy? Yes or no? Yes or no? Can we have more? Can you yes or no?
Who keeps muting me?
Over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big
I'm not going to provide you
explosive
the
plays,
space to
continue to
bad
push the ball
Who keeps
downfield,
muting me?
hasn't really translated on the score.
Not going to provide you space to bad black people. Answer the question. I'll move on to another point.
By the way, you a boy, not
Right. That's fine. Thank you. I'm not a girl.
and a fool. You a fool too.
Okay. Thank you.
Who's calling the third down is Madden.
Stick to 30. Talk about it. I know you want to get up and talk about that crime and accountability, but not tonight.
Alabama, things were bad. What else?
When you're
Mississippi,
willing to
things
throw
were
the ball
bad.
short of the sticks on third down,
Georgia,
what that
things
tells
were
you
bad. What
the
else?
decision to go for it on fourth down has already been made. If you're able to pick it up with yards after the catch, great. But if not, it's a fourth and short. And you give yourself a realistic shot of converting
and the
on this
reason why
fourth
I
down.
asked you that is because the culture in the United States to this day, because I was going to go into a series of time frames, but I see you don't want to have this conversation, so I'm going to try to level set and get away from it so someone else can have a chance to talk. More like under the mic, right? So I'm going to move away from asking you about the 1900 to 1965. I'm not going to talk about 65 to 2022. I'm not going to talk about that. But the culture in America, as white people treated black people fairly, have been treated with equity, have been treated as
What kind of route?
culturally kind way. Yes or no?
No, not until 1982.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm done with this question. We move on.
They've got it at the 8.
By the way, he's Jamaican. He's not even real American.
Okay. Bitch, I'm more American than you are.
He'll get this one out to the left flat. And he will score.
Please don't get dirty. You are not American.
Patriots making 4 touchdowns for him on the afternoon.
Yeah, so look, I want to talk about this, and I'm not doing this for I'm doing it for the people that are watching. If people usually don't do it, the 2026 manufacturing industry outcome. But in this document, what you will find is that the investment, because I think most of us know conceptually this guy over here, that most of the investments that companies are making in manufacturing in the smart manufacturing sector, AI, data centers, which require a certain skill set of people to have these jobs. PNCs, engineers, network engineers, things like that. That's part of my background. I was in IT for 27 years. So, what you can see, and I'm not going to go through the detail on it, what you're going to see in this report, everybody can go look at it. You can go look and see that there has been a decrease last year in manufacturing construction spending right here, right?
Got to play defense with this team.
In July 2025, this hasn't been updated. So everybody in here from 2026. So smart manufacturing jobs will be the jobs that people will be doing. Again, you have to have education, you have to have certification to get these jobs. And we know that a lot of people, a lot of the use of a lot of people, like the brown people use. And
That's Cherokee.
yeah, that's not good.
I like let him turn the information, then you can ask him a question out. Let him get the information down, get people in the live, see.
And I will answer your question when I get there. So what we're seeing is this trend where these companies are trying to use automation with AI. So you're not going to have those medium entry-level jobs with this smart manufacturing footprint. You have them when you're standing up these data centers, when you're building them. The data centers aren't even designed to house a lot of people. That's not the intent. The intent of these large data centers is to hold the data, hold the infrastructure that people typically have in their access. That's another
Here's a great example here of just not getting too complicated as an offensive coordinator. Who's one of your best players on the field, and how do you get the ball in his hands?
I've actually stood up and created multiple data centers in my IT field, so I understand that part. So what I'm trying to say to him, when he's looking at this outlook for this 2026, these places, most of these places I think just started to get so, in all, point out here, a lot of the brown folks that don't have these qualities, but a lot of these brown folks that don't, and now they remove these DEI programs, so it's easier for them to delineate who's who and take some of these opportunities and void them of our communities is because a lot of these companies are moving away from DEI programs because they get getting subsidies for these data centers, for these programs. So they are actually saying to the government now, if I'm in trouble with this administration, we are not going to have these DEI programs. So they get their subsidies because if they use these keywords,
so often, like we see teams on a great drive to get down here close, only to settle for a field goal. But in this case, give them a lot of credit. They put a great drive together, but they're able to capitalize and finish it off.
What you're saying is black people, we're not educated enough. We're not educated enough to do this, that, and the other. Like, we just need to just sit back and just have our hands out.
I can say that.
Why do you keep targeting us, though?
Okay, so let me tell you a quick story so that you can probably feel prepared. I was in IT for 27 years. I did not have a college degree. I started at help desk and I went all the way to a CIO. So I'm not saying that these opportunities aren't available to us. What I'm saying is that this administration is making it harder by invoking the DEI thing.
Right.
And forcing these companies to adhere to it or lose their government subsidy. The government subsidy is the money that they're using to make these initiatives better. They're not going to get the land grants that they get. They're not going to be able to move these things forward to build these jobs. But they're not intending, these jobs to be black and brown people. They're not listening.
And
from the
I just
32
feel
yard
like
line. Here's
You're saying that if teams are going, why do you think they're going to give up to
It's
you?
Henderson.
The competition is going to be competition though. Not only is going to be competition with fighting them, but we don't get competition with AI technology.
so what's wrong with that? That's why we need to. That's why what he was wrong with. That's why we need.
Are you asking me
That's why we must be competition. Allow me to speak. Allow me to speak. That's why we need to equip ourselves to stop going to school for psychology degrees, shit like that, and go get some real degrees like engineering, medical legislation. Hold on, I miss Corey. Please, Miss Corey.
We're not aware that under the Biden administration, they allocated $17 billion to black colleges for this very thing to expand
It's just so hard to be a good offense in the NFL, Mike, when you are not good on
programs.
third down. Your inability to
So
extend
black
drives,
students can get
you
into
put a lot
that,
of pressure
to
on your
expand
coaches
that
to get
engineering
results.
programs.
Or
So
simply
more
go
black
or take a
students.
field goal.
Miss
You
Corey,
have to
not many.
maintain possession
There are
and
very,
be
very
more
little
correct to score
HBCUs that
touchdowns.
actually have an engineering program.
That's why they gave them so much money, Daddy.
No, Miss Corey, they gave their money. They gave their money to those HBCUs, and the HBCUs are going to do what they always do. They're going to steal from them.
That's another true. That is true. That is true. Hey, just so stop saying curse and that shit up. It hard, but
hey boy, you heard his ass out, you bro, calm down. That was the court without bands.
I'm a rich nigga. I'm a rich.
Okay, still in that.
No, I'm not. Really nice.
Okay.
Big mansion. You seen it before? You seen it before, Cosby?
Woo! Come on, boy.
Remember after you turned the camera off, it was so nice.
this is crazy that
Miss Corey, I love you.
Every chance
He
he
just
gets.
stays with his primary read just a little bit too long. I think if he
But
gets
yes,
that ball
Daddy,
to
what
his
I
check
do
down a little
agree,
bit too, not only
homes
is the
to
ball
$8
completed, but I
billion.
think there's some room to run.
The
So,
initial
again,
was 17
certain
billion.
quarterbacks
The
are better than
pledge
others.
was
The
80
ability to
billion
process
to make
and eliminate
HBCUs
targets
tuition
quickly to move on to the next.
extend
That's a skill that
programs
really just
like
comes from
engineering
experience.
programs where there are more students to create more within a although small kids started into STEM.
Miss Corey, you know, Jimmy knew that they was never going to be no $80 billion to HBCUs. That was the promise.
They gave them 17 billion in 4 years. Now they'll get to 80 billion in 10.
Hasn't been
That was
enough
the goal.
to overcome
Miss
some
Corey,
of
that
their
was your
shortcomings
Miss Corey, that was your
elsewhere.
game. And understand this, Miss Corey. Only certain blacks could benefit from that. Understand one thing about me. Let me speak. Understand one thing about me. I'm doing That's from Simpson Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Simpson Road. Everybody who knows where that's at, you know, there ain't no phone over there. Ain't no that shit over there.
This is a tricky part of the
Exactly.
game for
So
any
I built
defense. You
myself
find
up
yourself
from the ground
protecting
up.
a late
That's your
lead.
play, ain't it? That comeback.
The age-old question is, do you remain
Just to get
aggressive?
black
Do you
folk,
try
and
to
it
just
worked.
keep the ball from being
Just
thrown
stand
over your
together.
head and make
So
everything
don't
be
play.
tackled and
Never gonna
played
know you
in front of you?
HBCUs
That's what every
$80 billion.
defensive coordinator struggles with.
They
So
gave them,
they can't get too soft here
they gave
as they
them
try to hold on to
17
this lead
billion
here late.
in the 4
Give me
years
that.
that they were in.
HBCU presidents and all them.
Ain't but so many times you can test me, dog. Ain't but so many times you can go over to that corner, bro. I'm going to go get it. That's what separates me from the rest of you. Ain't but so many times you can test me. My computer ain't going to do it. I'm going to go get it. Now, I don't like what you in right now, so I'm going to get out of here.
One big moment to sway the outcome of a game, and no bigger play than a pick deep inside your own red zone.
Open right side is a Bronco. Look at the big guy rumble.
I don't like what you in.
There's one in. 70 yards. Touchdown, Tennessee.
I'm going to go get it.
Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the fourth quarter is get the ball with the lead and extend it to a two-score game.
Yeah, I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a two-score lead this late in the fourth quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to call yourself back in it.
They've been a stealing problem in HBCU before. They're a stealing problem at every college and university in the United States. Ours just get high all the way down the same. So these years would have been
from the 6, here comes a return. He'll come across the 20 and taken down at the 21-yard line.
When these things go on at University of Texas, Texas A&M, University of Houston, these things go on at all colleges. When you beat the stop and we're working. But at the same time, all that money has been accounted for. And
to throw on first down is made.
Winston, I thought you'd get over there, Wentz. I set that up and I wanted him to go over there. I thought he was going to get there.
And it's hardly an exaggeration when I say, Mike, that he's probably one of the most difficult individual assignments in the entire league. It's like playing football against that really good kid in your neighborhood. He's just hard to cover. Plays like this, it just shows how special he can be.
Here's May to throw it on first down. He gets this into the hands of Green. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
It's been tough sledding for this offense all day today, Mike, but especially here in the second half. So they are just in desperate need of a spark, just something to get their offense into a little bit of a rhythm if they want to have any chance to find themselves back into this game here later.
Here's first and 10.
Since the inception of Land Grant University, you've been underfunded.
Here's Matt. Going left side, and it's taken in by Williams.
I was going to jump down.
Most of the damage after the catch. Give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
From 29, here's second and 5. May to throw again. Oh, fine work there defensively. Got that hand in there. That pass is incomplete.
This is something they teach defensive linemen, Mike, that, of course, we want to get to the quarterback and pressure and hit him and ultimately sack him. But if you don't think you're going to get there, when his hand comes off the ball, your hands go up. Get in that throwing lane, get a deflection, and he's able to force the incomplete.
That's what was good.
A lot of those right here.
Throw again is May. Here's a shot.
Nope.
That ball incomplete.
I like the idea of taking your shot there on third down, pushing the ball downfield, looking for the touchdown.
Hey, let me get that 5. There you go. Let me get that one. That's what I want. I want you to split.
That offense on the field and try to maintain possession and see if you can come away with 6.
We have
They'll go. Here's May.
That's what I wanted. I called it too. That's fine.
Well, a chance to get right back in it here. First down and goal.
When you say that they don't have these programs, you would have to actually look at who these some of these schools are. Somebody said in the chat already. Let's see if they look at the top.
To the air once more.
Give me the ball.
Quarterback thinks he's got a shot to take this one in himself.
Y'all see the strip? Did you see the strip?
Decision to turn into a runner. Defense has just enough time to get there. They stop him short of the end zone. Second goal.
That's a user. I'm everywhere.
And the reason, only reason I give you back on the better experience is because I didn't grab
Oh my God, picked up.
Travion Henderson. Touchdown, New England.
My mission to continue to move
Greg,
up
they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off.
Well, Mike, at the very least, they've given themselves a chance, but can they get a stop and get the ball back again for a chance to go down and really make this one interesting?
HBCU do that. So we're doing the work without the wallet. We're getting underfunded and we're still producing. So stop sitting on people's panels like your boy panel over there. Look white when you talk bad
That's a
about
big
black
spot
people.
for the Patriots as they'll go for two.
The Patriots
Operating from the shotgun, it's May. So they get the two-point conversion. All of a sudden, that 11-point deficit down to just a field goal here in the fourth.
Mike, I think all of us can remember exactly where we were during a certain Super Bowl where throwing the ball this close to the goal line ended up being a disaster. Unlike that time, they ran this pass play to perfection, and the result, 2 points.
Yes, he is. But he's about to be out. He's about to be out. She doesn't leave college until January. Then after that, she's a millionaire. She gets $10 million as soon as she leaves. That's good for her.
So they've cut into the lead. Now just a field goal behind as they kick it off. This one is going to sail through the end zone for a touchdown.
She's not still. So what the hell are you going to do?
It's first and 10.
So, okay, what's the point? Again, some of this shit, right? This nigga too in this campaign and twist his way into saying that make people bad and want people good. All that tap dancing.
So 2 minutes left to play in the second half. We'll come back and finish this one off after this.
Eskimo man or pigeon or whatever the fuck you think you are, nigga. Shut your motherfucking mouth until you got something positive to say about black folk. You done ran out all your negative cards. You don't have positive cards left. Now if you want to chime in and use one of your positive
On first down, he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. So, right out of the 2-minute break, we get a timeout used by the defense with 1:56 to go.
So they're not going to get the yardage to reflect it, but I actually thought that was a pretty nice job by the running back, at least getting back to the original line of scrimmage. This offensive line, they've got to do a better job getting him through untouched. His yards on the ball,
That's what's up.
got to be better.
Still a little work to do now.
Drag route. We used to say this is day one install. Every single offense in the NFL has this sort of route, especially for the tight end position. And depending on the speed and the run after catchability of the tight ends, sometimes it can lead to some of the biggest gains.
Since 2019, at about 60-something %. He didn't have someone else in 2019.
Third down, trying to get it on the ground. He's down right at the 40, but
I don't care how we got it. I don't care how we got to the point. He did.
I think it's one of those play calls, Mike, that really just comes down to understanding your personnel. You realize, okay, your back is not one of those big losing guys running up the middle on third and short. Instead, use the speed, use the vision, get him outside the offensive line, and let him find that space to pick up the first down.
a fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10.
The Black Wolves has steadily grown with steadily grown, while also Black Pride has gone down.
Exactly, and I don't know how you saying any of this, but I agree with you on it.
And not much of that quick defense held to no gain. New England going to take their second timeout. They'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in this one.
This is what y'all do as Republicans, bro. Y'all make the conversations bad because y'all get stuck on these small little irrelevant things. Okay, you said it. Now we moving forward with the conversation. The point is,
Warbucks sitting up here acting like black folk ain't making no strides here in American society, and we doing everything the wrong way.
Because he used to live on Simpson Road in Atlanta.
They'll stick with him again. He'll be taken down. We'll see if they want to use that final timeout.
Give you some sort of
Things are pretty much spoken.
man, I got that cold. Or black. Hey, that's fine. I would give a fuck if you lived on Bar Simpson Road, nigga.
Third down. Ready? One final kneel down here.
He said that man live on Bart some shit, bro.
So then the black